Hello, welcome back to Partnership Law. So, we will now continue with the doctrine of separate juridical personality provided in Article 1768 of the Civil Code. So, it provides that the partnership has a juridical personality separate and distinct from that of each of the partners, even in case of failure to comply with the requirements of Article 1772, first paragraph. So, this doctrine of separate juridical personality um, provides that if the partners create a partnership, there is an artificial an artificial person that is thereby created by that contract of partnership. Okay, so for example, A, B, C, and D are the partners who created the partnership. Okay, there will be a a separate being by virtue of that contract of partnership that will be created. Okay, so at yung artificial person or separate juridical personality na na-create is a distinct personality from that of A, B, C, and D. Okay, so the obligations of the separate juridical personality is not the obligation of A, B, C, and D. Okay, so and also as a general rule, the obligations of A, B, C, and D, the partners, are not the obligations of that partnership. Okay, so may artificial person na ma-create from the creation or from the execution of the contract of partnership. Okay, and that this partnership is created even if, or this separate juridical personality is created even if the requirements daw under Article 1772 are not complied. So ano ba itong Article 1772? First paragraph. Every contract of partnership having a capital of 3,000 pesos or more in money or property shall appear in a public instrument which must be recorded in the Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Okay, so may requirements na if ang capital ng partnership is at least 3,000 pesos. So, kailangan na daw mag-appear sa public instrument at ma-record sa Securities and Exchange Commission, sa SEC. Okay, so dalawa ang requirement. If at least 3,000 pesos na, appear in a public instrument, meaning niyan, ipanotarize siya sa notary public, and then that public instrument should be filed with the Office of the Securities and Exchange Commission in order to be recorded. But sabi doon sa doctrine of separate juridical personality under Article 1768 that even if this requirement in the first paragraph of Article 1772 are not complied with, then it is alright. It does not hinder the creation of a separate juridical personality simply by failure of the partners to comply with the requirements under Article 7, first paragraph of Article 1772. Now, the second paragraph is also just a reiteration of Article 1768, which states that failure to comply with the requirements of the preceding paragraph shall not affect the liability of the partnership and the members thereof to third persons. Okay, so they may not use this failure to comply with the requirements under the first paragraph of Article 1772 against their obligors, no, against their creditors. Okay, so if may obligation na ang partnership or ang partners sa ibang tao, then it cannot use as an excuse in order not to pay or perform the obligation non-compliance with the first paragraph of Article 1772. Okay, so that's the meaning of that. Okay, next is the effect of failure to comply with the statutory requirements provided in the partnership law. Okay, so first, let us consider that as a general rule, remember this, a partnership may be constituted in any form. So meaning, partnership contract is consensual. Diba? May tatlo tayong contracts classified from its perfection. Diba? May consensual, wherein the contract is perfected by mere consent. Pangalawa is real, where the contract is perfected upon delivery of the object of that contract. And then the formal contract is that which is perfected upon compliance with the formalities required by law. Okay, but as a general rule, the contract of partnership is consensual. Upon agreement of the partners, upon mere agreement of the partners, a contract of partnership is perfected. Okay, but there are certain exceptions as to which a contract of partnership will become a formal contract, not merely a consensual contract. Okay, first is when immovable property is contributed to the partnership. Immovable meaning yung lupa, bahay, building, so immovable property. So there are requirements in order that the contract of partnership may be perfected. Okay, first is that this is for when immovable property is contributed. So first is when the contract of partnership, first requirement is that the contract of partnership must be in a public instrument. So meaning it must be written, and that written instrument must be notarized by a notary public. Okay. And then an inventory of the immovable property contributed must be made, signed by the parties, and attached to the public instrument. So dalawa ang requirements. It must be in a public instrument. Okay, the contract of partnership must be in a public instrument, pasabot, written, and notarized. And then there must be an inventory of immovable property contributed. Okay, and then that inventory must be signed by the partners and must be attached to the public instrument. Okay, so that is when immovable property is contributed in a partnership. Okay, so if the requirements stated are not complied with, the partnership contract is void insofar as the contracting parties are concerned. However, as to third persons, the partnership will be considered as valid if it is necessary to protect their interests. So, the partners cannot use as a defense, non-compliance with the formalities or with the requirements of law in order to avoid their obligation. Okay, so for example, a partnership has already entered into a contract with another person. Okay, partnership in another person, nanay contract. There is already a contract between them, and then the partnership has incurred an obligation. So for example, debtor, naging debtor si partnership. Okay, so for example, nangutang si partnership sa isang creditor in order na yung inutang nila gawin nilang kapital sa kanilang business. Okay? But for example, in the partnership, immovable properties were contributed, but they did not make any public instrument. They did not put the contract of partnership in a public instrument, and they did not make an inventory of the immovable property contributed. So for them, but that partnership, even without compliance with the requirements, has already contracted a loan from another person. So when the creditor now gusto niya nang singilin yung inutang ng partnership, okay, hindi pwede na gawing excuse ng partners na hindi perfected ang kanilang partnership contract kasi hindi nila na-comply ang requirements under this Article 1773. Okay? Hindi sila pwede magsabi na ay, hindi man perfected ang contract of partnership namin. So, wala talagang partnership kasi hindi namin kinumply to ng mga requirements. Okay? So, hindi pwede. Dahil sa principle na to. As to third persons, the partnership will be considered as valid if it is necessary to protect their interest. Okay, so even if the requirements here are not complied with, they cannot use such failure to comply with the requirements to evade from their obligations to third persons. Okay, so they are stopped from doing that. Okay, they are stopped from claiming that there has really been no partnership that has been perfected, because in the first place it's their fault that the partnership was not perfected because of the non-compliance. It's the partner's fault, so they cannot use that in order to evade from their obligations. Okay. Next is test to determine the existence of a partnership. That is under Article 1769 of the Civil Code. So these are certain rules that we must remember in order to really determine whether a partnership exists or not. Okay, aside from that, determining the essential features or characteristics of a partnership, if it is not determined whether a certain contract is a partnership by the essential features or characteristics of a partnership, then we may use this Article 1769. Okay, except as provided, first test is that except as provided by Article 1825, persons who are not partners as to each other are not partners as to third persons. Okay, so the general rule, okay, that would be the general rule. If they are not partners, okay, the contracting parties who entered into the partnership, if they are not partners as to each other, they are, as a general rule, also not to be considered as partners as to third persons. So, but there's an exception, okay, by Article 1825. Like for example, they will not comply with the requirements, okay, then they cannot use their failure to comply with the requirements in order to evade, in order to evade their obligation. So insofar as third persons are concerned, if they are the cause of, if the partners are the cause of the failure or the non-compliance which results to their not being partners, then insofar as third persons are concerned, they will be considered as partners. Okay, so that is merely the exception. The general rule is that if they are not partners as to each other, they are not partners as to third persons. Next test is co-ownership or co-possession does not of itself establish a partnership, whether such co-owners or co-possessors do or do not share any profits made by the use of the property. So by simply just being co-owners of a certain property, even if that property is is obtaining profits, okay, so kahit may profits yung property na yan na co-owned by certain persons, they are not considered to be partners and there would be no partnership. Okay, it is not enough that there is partnership and there is profit. Okay, there is much more than that. So if you could remember sa essential characteristics of a partnership, the intention of the parties or the partners in entering into a contract of partnership is in order for them to obtain profits and to divide the profits among themselves. Okay? Okay, so kasi for example, if may minana kayong yung siblings, okay, magkapatid, tapos may minana silang namatay yung parents nila, may minana silang business from their parents, which business is obtaining profits, okay, they cannot be considered to have automatically entered into a partnership because they really had no intention to obtain profits from that. Okay? They the obtaining of profits from the business that they have inherited from their parent is merely incidental to their rights as heirs of their parents. Okay, so okay, it takes more than just co-ownership and obtaining profits in order to establish a partnership. Okay, so why is this important? Why do we have to distinguish co-ownership from a partnership? Okay, because okay, this is one of the importance of distinguishing a co-ownership or co-possession from a partnership, because in co-ownership, a co-owner or a co-ownership will not be subject to tax by the state, okay, while a partnership will be subject to tax by the state, okay, because a partnership is taxed the same or like a corporation. Okay, so that is why it is important really to determine whether there is a partnership, because the state, if it would be determined that there is really a partnership, then the state has the right to impose tax on the profits obtained by that partnership. While in co-ownership, okay, the state has no right, or or the co-ownership has no obligation to pay taxes. Okay? Third test is that the sharing of gross returns does not of itself establish a partnership, whether or not the person sharing them have a joint or common right or interest in any property from which the returns are divided. Okay, the sharing by itself of gross returns. Okay, if there are certain persons who share into the gross returns of a certain business, it does not, okay, if yan lang ang pagbabasehan, yung sharing of gross returns, then it would not establish a partnership. Much more is needed to be determined in order para masabi talaga na may partnership. Pero kung pagbabasihan lang is yung sharing ng gross returns, okay, sa sa isang property owned by that persons, then it was not enough in order to conclude that there is a partnership. Okay, much more must be considered. But in here, so test number 4 is that the receipt by a person of a share of the profits of a business is prima facie evidence that he is a partner in the business. So kung if sa number 3, the gross return, sharing of the gross returns will not, okay, by itself, okay, emphasis on the by itself, will not be considered or will not be establishing or will not establish a partnership. Dito naman sa number 4, if profits na, okay, if there is already sharing of the profits, then that would become a prima facie evidence that the partner who shared from that or the person who shared from that profits is a partner in a certain partnership. Okay, so prima facie, so meaning it would be if prima facie, if it would be assumed that there is a partnership, and it could only be overturned, or the assumption will be corrected if there is the assumption would be overturned or other term ng overturned, mabaliktad, okay, na ma-determine na walang partnership if there is contrary evidence that would be presented by the parties. Okay, so that is the general rule, but there are certain exceptions whereby the sharing of the profits will not be considered as a prima facie evidence that a certain person is a partner in a business. Okay, so what are these circumstances? Okay, no such inference shall be drawn if such profits were received in payment as a debt by installments or otherwise. Okay, so if it is pambayad, okay, it would be established that the sharing of the profits is considered as a payment by installments or otherwise, or the profits shared is considered as the wages of an employee or a rent to a landlord, or the payment is considered as an annuity to a widow or representative of a deceased partner, or as an interest on a loan through the amount of payment, though the amount of payment vary with the profits of the business, and as the payment is considered as the consideration for the sale of goodwill of a business or other property by installments. So we'll repeat. The general rule is that the sharing of profits will be prima facie evidence that a certain person who shared in that profits is a partner in a certain business. Okay, prima facie evidence. So there would be a presumption of a partnership being established. But this presumption will not apply. Okay, the sharing of profits will not be presumed as a partnership if, again, the profits is received in payment as a debt by installments or otherwise, as wages of an employee to or rent to a landlord, as an annuity to a widow or representative of a deceased partner, as interest on a loan, though the amount of payment vary with the profits of the business, and as the consideration of the sale of a goodwill of a business or other property by installments or otherwise. Okay, so if by the essential characteristics of there is difficulty in determining whether a certain contract is a partnership by just considering the essential characteristics of a partnership, then this Article 1769 or the test to determine the existence of a partnership may be helpful in order to determine whether or not there is indeed a partnership that was established. Okay, so classification. Let's go to the classifications of partnership. Okay, so important. This is important. So just take note of this. So as to the extent of the subject matter, there are universal partnership and particular partnership. Okay, the universal partnership is one which refers to all the present property or to all the profits. And the universal partnership is further classified or into two. We have the universal partnership of all present property and universal partnership of profits. Okay, so we will discuss this itong universal partnership and particular partnership later. Okay, so there are certain rules that we must remember with respect to universal partnership. Persons prohibited from entering into a universal partnership. Okay, there are certain persons who are prohibited from entering into a universal partnership. Okay, those who are prohibited from giving each other any donation. So, yung mga tao daw na prohibited na magbigay to each other ng donation are also prohibited from entering into a universal partnership. So, sino ba yun sila? Ang hindi pwede, and that is provided in the family code. Okay, so example, spouses, they cannot enter. Okay, the spouses, they cannot enter into a universal partnership because they are by law not allowed to give donations to each other except moderate gifts which the spouses may give each other on the occasion of any family rejoicing. And also the spouses, also those persons living together as husband and wife without a valid marriage. So the prohibition also applies to them. And also that provided in Article 1739 of the Civil Code, those between persons who are guilty of adultery or concubinage at the time of the donation, those made between persons found guilty of the same criminal offense in consideration thereof, and those made to a public officer or his wife, descendants or ascendants by reason of his office. So these persons are not allowed to give donations to each other. So therefore, they are also not allowed to enter into universal partnership. Okay, so let us proceed with the distinction of this universal partnership and particular partnership. So in universal partnership, the object is vague and indefinite, contemplating a general business with some degree of continuity, while a particular partnership is limited and well-defined, being confined to an undertaking of a single, temporary, or ad hoc nature. So, usually, ang partnership na na-create natin is a particular partnership. Because is this universal partnership, there is really everything under that. All the transactions that would be made would be through the partnership. Okay, all the transactions that would be made by the partners would be made through the partnership. Okay, so the object is vague and indefinite. While sa particular partnership, kung anong business na gusto nyong gawin, mag-create kayo ng partnership para gumawa kayo ng business for selling hardware or groceries, to put up a convenience store. So there is a particular business that would be established by creating the partnership. So that is a particular partnership. Okay, as to liability of partners, we have the general partnership and the limited partnership. Okay, so one consisting of general partners who are liable pro rata and subsidiarily and sometimes solidarily with their separate property for partnership debts. And limited partnership naman is one formed by two or more persons having as members one or more general partners and one more limited partners, the latter not being personally liable for the obligations of the partnership. So kung sa general partnership, lahat sila general partners, composed of general partners lahat. Okay? While sa limited partners, may one or more general partner and one or more limited partners. Okay, mixed. So mixed sa limited partnership, while sa general partnership, wala talaga, purely general partners. As to duration, there is a partnership at will and partnership with a fixed term. So sa partnership at will, walang specified time or undertaking that is provided in the partnership contract. Okay, so walang time limit. While in a partnership with a fixed term, there is a time limit within which the partnership will exist. So say they provide 50 years for the period of the partnership contract. So after 50 years, the partnership will cease to exist or will be dissolved. Or when there is a particular undertaking. So for example, they created a partnership in order to build a building. So if the building is completed, then the partnership would be dissolved. So that is a partnership with a fixed term. So may term siya or may specific undertaking. As to the legality of its existence, de jure partnership and de facto partnership. And de jure, one which has complied with all the legal requirements for its establishment. So legally, may compliance siya with all the requirements by the law. And sa de facto naman, one which has failed to comply with all the legal requirements for its establishment. As to representation to others, ordinary or real partnership, and ostensible partnership or partnership by estoppel. Okay, ang ordinary is one which actually exists among the partners and also as the third persons. So, may partnership talaga. In short, may partnership talaga. Actually, may partnership na na-create. While ostensible, one which is in reality is not a partnership but is considered as a partnership only in relation to those who, by their conduct or admission, are precluded to deny or disapprove its existence. So, this is a partnership where the partners will not be allowed to deny the partnership because of estoppel. So, for example, si A, B, and C, although they really have not contributed property or money or industry to a common fund, but they say misrepresented themselves to other persons. So they saying partners kami ni A, kami ni B at C, partners kami. But in reality, wala silang contribution sa common fund. So, but through their misrepresentation, yung ibang tao na nakinig, naniwala sa kanilang misrepresentation. And because of that, may, for example, may contract na execute sila, whereby the partnership incurred, okay, or the unreal, okay, the fictitious partnership incurred an obligation. So, in case na maniningil na yung creditor sa fictitious na partnership, hindi pwedeng i-deny ni A, B at saka C or ng fictitious partners na di nila pwede sabihin na, uy, wala mang partnership. Wala talagang partnership. Hindi nila pwedeng sabihin yun. Okay, they are stopped from denying, or okay, they are not allowed to deny the existence of the partnership. Okay, so that is estoppel. As to publicity naman, we have secret partnership and open or notorious partnership. Secret is one wherein the existence of certain persons as partners is not avowed or made known to the public by any of the partners, and open or notorious one whose existence is avowed or made known to the public by the members of the firm. As to purpose, we have commercial or trading partnership, one form for transaction of business, and we have professional or non-trading partnership, one form for the exercise of a profession. Okay, so that would be the end of our topic for this video. Thank you for listening, and I hope you understand what we have discussed. Thank you.